management and budget. Mr. Mulvaney has unique insights into all of these questions.
Jeffries argues Mulvaney and others, including John Bolton, should be called as witnesses. The New York Times reports Bolton's new book will directly link the president to requesting help to get Ukraine to dig dirt on Democrats. When will it end? Correspondent Manu Raju.
There's this discussion now to have the final vote on Wednesday. Now, that is much different than what we were hearing last night. Republican leadership was pushing hard to get this done late tonight.
The president wants it over by Tuesday's State of the Union, but logistics may not allow that.
Postage rates have gone up again. Thankfully, Stamps.com.
Hey, welcome everybody. We'll be on shortly with Sport Talk, Quake, and Cowboy Joe on WGOW Sport Talk 102.3, the Talk Monster here in Chattanooga. If you are watching out of town, you can watch it. You can listen as well. WGOW.com. Hit the listen live button. WGOW.com. A little background. Sport Talk has been on the airways here in Chattanooga almost 30 years. Scott McMahon is, I think he's been with them since day one. It's a tradition here in Chattanooga, like nothing else. It's an incredible run for a local sports show, especially when you've got one of the guys that have been there since day one on the show. It's Scott McMahon. The quake, the earthquake here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'll be calling in just a little bit. Yep, we are broadcasting live. Good. I was just checking all my settings and everything. Make sure I'll be calling in just a moment. They'll put me on hold and we will do it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Looks like I'm there, doesn't it? It looks like I'm there on the air. We'll be calling in about 2 minutes. The Alsness Barbecue Show, a special edition, coming to you live from Ooltewah, Tennessee. We'll be appearing on WGOW 102.3, the Talk Monster here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Sport Talk, one of the longest running sport talk shows in the nation. Not just in Chattanooga, in the nation. Comes to you live every day from 3 until 7, Monday through Friday, on the Talk Monster. Been a staple here for 30 years. Started on the AM side, jumped to the FM side around probably 89 or so. No, I take that back, about 86. I've been up with 83, about 86, 87 has been on the air since. Incredible run by anybody's standards. But we'll be going on in just a moment. We'll be talking about brisket, chicken wings, and things of that sort for the Super Bowl. And be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun.
The National Football League.
Who's everybody got? Who's everybody got? I've got Kansas City in all my polls. Hey, John Selmer, welcome. Good afternoon to you, sir. Glad you joined us. Kind of a lazy, overcast, cold Friday afternoon here in Chattanooga. All right, let's go to the board. We'll give Joe a call, make sure this goes through. Lots of times during the break, they go out in the hall, have a Coke and talk. Hey, Troy Davis. Good to see from you. Good to hear from you. Thanks for joining.
Alan.
Joe.
Yes.
Steve Ray.
That you are, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. Sound good?
Sound great, man.
All right.
As always.
You sound good, too, on this end.
Good, man. I'll put you on hold, and we'll come in to you in a little under, about a minute or so.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. Hang on.
Harold Stockberger, welcome. Ken Smith from Nashville, welcome to the show. Harold from the Ace Hardware, the barbecue mecca of Chattanooga, by the way, the Ace Hardware on East Brandon Road. I'm second most popular place in Chattanooga, right, Harold? You're the first, I'm the second. Can I be the second? I'll be the second. I'll take second fiddle to you any day, Harold. Ken, I got the Chiefs as well. Sure do. 49ers, John? I can see it, but I don't think the Chiefs can score so fast. It's like they did against Tennessee. Tennessee defense, top 5 defense in the league, scored, 3 touchdowns in, 2 minutes, 25 seconds? Something crazy.
Sport Talk, look at the Cowboy, the Talk Monster 102.3. Like I said, we've talked Super Bowl for quite a number of days. Of course, minus the couple with the Kobe Bryant tragedy. It's time to talk food because we're going to win the food game on Sunday. I don't know who's going to win the football game, but I know I'm going to win the food game.
Take the over.
Take the over. That's right.
You want a guaranteed win? Take the over on the Super Bowl food.
Whatever you want, right? So Steve Ray from Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. He is live right now on Facebook, his Facebook page, and of course it's an Owl's Nest Barbecue, and live to YouTube. So Steve, we appreciate you as always. We like to call it the big meat section because you tackle the smokers, grills, big green egg, that type of thing, and whatever the heck you want to throw on it. It always tastes good when it comes off the
Absolutely.
Owl's Nest Barbecue stuff.
You guys doing all right?
Thanks for the time this afternoon.
You bet.
What's your plan Sunday?
Man, we haven't decided what we're going to do quite yet. We've got the clubhouse out here, but they've got it rented out. Isn't that weird?
Oh,
so
darn.
I know. So we usually have a Super Bowl party at the clubhouse, but anyway, I think we're going to do the wing thing, and I think I'm going to do a brisket, and we're going to serve Texas style brisket, really non fluffy stuff, just real basic Texas style barbecue. I think we're looking forward to
So
that.
when do you, if you want the food to come out for the kickoff or whatever, then when do you start with the brisket and kind of tell the folks? Dumb it down for us, if you will, to tell the folks how they can maybe have brisket on the menu Sunday.
You can do this, Scott, with one vessel. I know you've got an egg, and I kind of did this with the big green egg in mind, but you can do it on any vessel. First thing you want to do is set that fire at 285 degrees. All right, I know you probably, I don't know if you smoke that high or not, but you can do it. And make sure if the Super Bowl's at 6, I'd say friends will start arriving about 5 o'clock. Super Bowl's at 6:30, so 5 o'clock probably. You'll want to get that brisket on by 5 o'clock in the morning, or about 6 o'clock in the morning. At 285, that thing's going to cook nice. So what I would do the night before, trim that brisket up really good, and put kosher salt on it, on both sides, and put it in a metal pan, put it back in the refrigerator, fat side up, and let it sit there overnight. And after you get your smoker set and that temperature up to 285, take the brisket out, put your, I call it the Texas Trinity, pepper, salt, and garlic. You can do that, mix it up yourself. We sell it out at our place, the Butcher Barbecue Steak and Brisket Rub, however you want to do it. But get it on there and then put it on the smoker. By 12 o'clock, Scott, that brisket at 285, if you cook a full packer, which is what you ought to be cooking, a full packer brisket, which will be about 14 to 13 pounds, it'll be ready to wrap at about lunchtime, about 12 o'clock. When it hits 165, you're going to take that brisket off, put it on a couple of heavy duty sheets of aluminum foil, put some butter on top of it. That's fat side up now. Put some butter on it, and then put some beef broth around it, and wrap that thing up really good, Scott and Joe. And I mean, wrap it up tight, and put it back on the smoker at 285. And check it about every hour. And I'd say by 2:30 or 3, that brisket's going to be ready. So you start at 6, you'll be pulling it at about 2 o'clock, okay? That's about an 8-hour cook. And, Scott, I'm sure you've done a brisket. That's pretty quick. So, So what you'll do then, Joe, is take that brisket, wrap it up in a towel. Okay, any towel, dude. Don't even open it, Scott. Don't even open it and look at it. Just trust me, okay? Just trust me. Just wrap it up in a towel and throw it in a small cooler. Put the top down and forget about it.
So you're saying swaddle it like a little baby?
Swaddle it just like a baby, exactly, Joe. Because it's gonna be cute as a baby when you get it open. I promise you. Now that way, set your grill up then for your chicken wings. Okay, so your grill's gonna be done basically at 2:30, 2 to 2:30. So then you got some time because you don't want to put your chicken wings on then because when chicken wings sit there, the skin gets soft. But you're going to be cooking at 285. And let me just say this. If you're used to cooking at 230, 240, you're going to be surprised how much quicker your meat cooks. So your window of opportunity, if you make a mistake, closes. So you're really going to have to monitor it pretty good. But you're going to be right there because you're going to be getting other stuff ready anyway. And I'm going to assume that everybody has a helper. So you don't have to worry, Scott, about sides, potato salad, celery, all the other stuff that goes with it. Hopefully your wife,
You're
girlfriend.
concentrating on big meats at this point in time, right? You gotta have
Exactly
some help.
right. You're concentrating on that. So put those chicken wings on. If I'm having people over at 5, I'm going to put them on at right about probably 4 o'clock, because I want to be cooking when my friends get there. There's nothing wrong with just showing them what you've done. Kind of show off, Joe. I know you've got that in. I watch Nuga, the Nuga Burger Tour all the time, man. You know what I mean. Show off a little bit.
Gotta show it off.
Yeah, and do those wings, and just put on those wings. Don't put anything but salt on them when you put them on the smoker. Just salt only, nothing else. Get them on there, 285. Cook them to about 170 to 175 degrees, and then when you pull them off, have 3 bowls or 4 bowls of different sauces there for the people to use and put their own. What I'd like to do is set up a chicken wing bar. Have all the condiments out there, and I tell the people, here they are, just bring them out on a big platter. You fix them the way you want them. Have some sweet barbecue sauce out there, have some vinegar out there, have some buffalo sauce out there, and Scott, you got to have some ranch dressing for those people, okay?
All right.
All right.
I'm a blue cheese kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yes, there's ranch people out there.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were a ranch dressing snob.
for those-
I knew you would have an opinion about it.
for those people, they always show up, and they've all usually got a date too. So have them ready, all right. But that way, and then Scott, this is the great part of the party. When your friends are there about 5:15 or 5:30, you go get that brisket out of that cooler and you bring it in that towel, and have a cutting board somewhere right in the middle where everybody can see. Take that thing out, take the towel off, throw it away, take the foil off, save the juice into a bowl or something, because that juice will come in handy when you want to put the slices in it to keep it moist, because brisket dries out really quick. But then you put that brisket on that cutting board, and it's going to sit there. It's going to look like a monument. And while the people are looking at it, I want you to poke it, Joe. Poke that brisket.
Yeah, okay.
Because you know what? It's going to be rendered so perfectly that fat is going to jiggle. All right? And it's just going to sit there and it's going to jiggle on that cutting board. And then, Scott, find out which way the grain runs. Slice it against the grain. Have some Martin's sandwich buns on hand. And what I do is I put the meat right on the Martin's and I close it up. I don't put anything on, and just hand them out. And just hand them out to the people.
God, that sounds good.
Oh,
It
they
really
will.
does sound good.
Meat,
Jiggle and all.
jiggling all. Meat and bread, that fat will be jiggling. And cut halfway through it. When you get done with the flat, turn that brisket a quarter turn, because then you're going to be into the point. And that's the best part. Save that part for you and your family, or the people you like best.
Right. Don't give all the people.
Right,
All the people that came to the Super Bowl.
You got to
party,
turn
right?
that brisket just a quarter turn, slice it, and that juice will come pouring. I mean, it'll come pouring out of there. Now get ready, okay? Because all the women are going to be looking at you with these loving eyes, and all the guys are going to be looking at you out of sheer jealousy. And the women
Exactly.
and the women are going to be turned to the guy saying, "Why can't you do that?" That's what's going to happen. And that makes
That's the winning edge right there for your Super Bowl party.
And that is. And we're talking about spare ribs too. Again, 285, you got 3 hours to do spare ribs. That's all it takes. An hour and a half in the smoker. Take them out, wrap them in foil. Again, put butter and honey and a little bit of apple juice in there with that rib. Wrap it up tight. Put it back on the smoker for another hour and a half at 285, Joe and Scott. That'll be that rib will be 210 degrees, and that's what temperature you're looking for on the brisket as well, is 210 degrees.
Right.
And those ribs will be
I would say
210.
this, and I want to get your reaction to it. But I would say this: don't take a rack of ribs and go to your gas grill and put it on there and flip them a bunch of times for an hour or whatever it is. That you're doing yourself a disfavor. You're doing yourself an injustice by doing that. Not that you have to smoke. If you don't have a smoker or whatever, man, put it in aluminum foil.
Yep.
Cook it in the oven for a couple hours first to tenderize it. Then put it out on your, I'm talking about 3 hours, 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
and then put it out there on your gas grill and flip it over a couple times, maybe 30 minutes to just kind of what am I saying? Charcoal eyes, or what do you? What am I
Yeah,
saying?
get a little flavor. Get a little flavor stripe on it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
flavor stripe, and just give it kind of an edge, a crispiness too, and that's the way you do it on the gas grill. Because I've seen so many people just go out there and try and cook them like burgers, and it's just ribs need to be moist inside and juicy and all that kind of good stuff.
You know, Scott, you can take a gas grill. You could turn the left side of the grill on, turn the right side of the grill off, and put the ribs in there and offset cook them like that. You know, barbecue is not a taste. Barbecue is just a method. It's cooking meat longer than usual. That's all barbecue is. You can put those ribs in that, like you say, in that gas grill. I've done it. And, you know, you can get them done in 3 hours as well. Matter of fact, on a gas grill, it's easier because you can control the temperature a little bit better. And you can you can still get a great taste.
But you definitely want to have them in aluminum foil.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want the flame directly on them that long.
Oh, absolutely. Because ribs will burn up real quick because they're full of fat. But when you're picking out ribs, find the fattiest ones you can, because those are the best. When I go to these, Scott, I'm not kidding. When you go to these contests, you look at the ribs that the guys have that are the best cooks. They're full of fat, nothing but fat all over them, and they turn them in. They win all the time because that's where the flavor is. It's in the fat.
So there's your brisket, your wings, and your ribs. If you want to do those at home, that's the best way to do it. Now, Steve, give the folks out there some of your different, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, where they can go and maybe choose from a couple of the Owl's Nest Barbecues episodes that you've had here, I don't know, in the last year or so.
Good stuff, too, Steve. Real good stuff.
Well, I appreciate that, Joe. We have a YouTube channel, Owl's Nest Barbecue. All the interviews that I do on my show are there. And we've started doing some how-to videos, you know, just kind of make them fun. We kind of make them real short. They're always real short. The longest one we've ever done is, I think, 20 minutes. We did that last Saturday. Neighbor Frank Blair and I did it, and we showed how to cut a brisket for burnt ends. And if you're a brisket guy and you haven't tried burnt ends yet, watch his video, because it is really a good how-to video on how to do burnt ends on a brisket. Frank does a real good job.
That is the absolute best part.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Scott. Have you tried burnt ends yet?
I have. I think I had some down at Charlie's Barbecue on Main Street. We were going down there to eat lunch, and I got that sandwich, and she said, "Hey, have you ever tried these?" And brought a couple of heads. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Aren't they great?
Unbelievable. Yes,
I heard he's got. I've got to get down there. I've been by it a couple times. I've heard he's just got some great food down there.
Oh, the desserts too are just phenomenal. But Steve Ray, once again, Owl's Nest Barbecue. If you want to get the big meat segment here and understand what's going on, and especially where you can slow down the video as you're doing it, if you didn't have a chance to write down what he said, then you can make sure you master it correctly. Absolutely,
Scott. If anybody's got any questions, we're still at the Midnight Oil right next to it. I got my barbecue supply store. How about that, Joe? Barbecue, tires, oil changes, free coffee, and Michelin tires. Is that not the manliest place you ever heard of?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, my testosterone went up 30 points when I walked in.
I just get giddy. I get giddy thinking about it.
And a brand new Midnight Oil sign.
How about that?
On Facebook.
Kudos to Scott Shankle. Kudos to Scott Shankle and all the guys over at Valley Oil. They did a great job for me on that sign.
Steve Ray with Owl's Nest Barbecue, man. Keep up the great work. Thank you for your time this afternoon, buddy.
Thanks so much, Scott. Thanks so much, Joy. Go Chiefs.
Who you for?
Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. There you go.
I got them by 11.
I know the majority's going 49ers, it feels like. But thanks, Steve. We appreciate it very much, man. And appropriately enough, this segment.
So there you go, folks. Thanks for watching. Jay, look at that. Mr. Fitch joined us. Appreciate that, buddy. Wells Guthrie, thanks for watching. John McGuire, thank you, man. Appreciate you so much for hanging in there. Johnny Maggs, he'll be on Tuesday night at 5, in the Pit Barbecue Show on Facebook at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you want to know what it's like to cook out and up in New England, Johnny Maggs and Messy Mike up there. They got a great show, and you'll love it. Tori, thanks for watching. Jeff Greer. Diego, my carpenter extraordinaire, thank you so much. We appreciate everybody watching, everybody listening. We got to roll. We'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Saturday show.